If you wake up with this pain, call your doctor immediately. 6 hidden signs of stroke. After 60, have you ever woken up with a strange pain in your head? Or felt like your arm just wouldn't move the way it should? You brushed it off. You thought, it's just age, right? But what if it's not? What if your body was sending a silent cry for help? A warning that your brain is under attack? Every single day, thousands of older adults wake up to symptoms they don't realize could be the start of a life-altering stroke. And most don't make the call in time. The truth is, stroke signs in seniors often appear in unusual ways. Pains that seem harmless, feelings you think are just part of getting older, can actually be emergency red flags. And here's the scary part. Every minute you wait, brain cells die. The earlier you act, the higher your chances of survival and recovery. In this video, you'll discover 6 hidden signs of stroke that often strike after age 60, including one warning sign that appears the moment you wake up. These aren't your typical symptoms. Most people overlook them and pay the price. Watch till the end to learn. What to do if you notice these signs? Why seniors often miss them? And how one simple checklist can save your life, or the life of someone you love. You're watching After Older Years, where we bring powerful health insights for seniors and caregivers every single week. If you want to stay sharp, strong, and safe well into your golden years, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss a life-saving video. Let's get started, because time understanding stroke. Everything. Before we talk about the hidden signs you should never ignore, let's take a moment to understand what a stroke actually is. Because knowing how it works can literally save your life. A stroke happens when something cuts off blood flow to part of your brain. Without oxygen, brain cells begin to die in just minutes. That's why strokes are considered a medical emergency. There are 2 main types of stroke. The first is called an ischemic stroke, and this one is the most common, especially in people over 60. It's caused by a blockage, usually a blood clot, that stops blood from reaching parts of your brain. The second is a hemorrhagic stroke, which is less common but often more deadly. This one happens when a blood vessel in the brain bursts, causing bleeding inside the skull. The pressure builds up fast, and the damage can be severe. Both types can leave behind permanent brain damage, memory loss, or even paralysis, if not caught quickly. Now, here's where it gets serious for seniors. The risk of stroke doubles every decade after the age of 55. That means the older you are, the higher the chance, especially if you have conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, or atrial fibrillation. But what makes strokes so dangerous in older adults isn't just the risk. It's the fact that many signs are subtle or mistaken for ordinary aging. And that brings us to the real danger: not knowing what to look for when it's happening. Sign number 1: sudden severe headache. Let's start with one that often gets ignored because it feels so familiar: a headache. But not just any headache. We're talking about a sudden, intense headache that seems to come out of nowhere. The kind that wakes you up or stops you in your tracks. If you're over 60 and feel a headache like this, don't brush it off, especially if it's unlike anything you've had before. Doctors sometimes call this a thunderclap headache because it hits hard and fast, like a lightning strike inside your skull. Now, here's the important part. This kind of headache could be a sign of a hemorrhagic stroke, where a blood vessel in the brain has burst and started bleeding. The pressure builds up inside your head quickly. And the pain? It can feel sharp, pounding, or like a sudden explosion. What makes this dangerous is that many people take a painkiller and lie down, thinking it'll pass. But by then, valuable time is lost, and the brain damage may already be spreading. So if you're over 60 and a headache hits you out of nowhere, especially if it's the worst you've ever had, don't wait. Don't guess. Call your doctor immediately. Sign number 2, vision problems. Before we talk about how stroke affects movement, let's look at something even more subtle and just as dangerous: changes in your vision. If you suddenly notice blurred vision, double vision, or even temporary blindness in one or both eyes, don't assume it's just tired eyes or old age catching up with you. These vision issues can be one of the first signs that something is wrong, deep inside your brain. Here's why it matters. Your brain controls how you see the world. If a stroke blocks blood flow to the visual processing areas, your sight can be affected instantly. Some describe it as seeing shadows. Others feel like a curtain is falling over one eye. It might come and go, or strike suddenly and leave you confused. The danger? Many seniors already struggle with vision, so when a stroke affects the eyes, it often gets dismissed as normal aging or fatigue. But don't take the risk. If your vision changes without warning, even for a few minutes, it could mean a blockage is forming in the brain. And when that happens, the clock is dizziness or loss of balance. Next up, something that often goes unnoticed, but can be a major red flag: balance problems. If you suddenly feel dizzy, unsteady, or struggle to walk in a straight line, it's not always just fatigue or low blood sugar. In people over 60, this could be an early warning sign of a stroke. This kind of dizziness can hit out of nowhere. One moment you're fine, the next, it feels like the floor is shifting beneath your feet. Some describe it as a spinning sensation. Others say their legs won't follow commands. What's really going on? This may be a sign that a stroke is affecting the cerebellum, the part of the brain that controls balance and coordination. When blood flow is blocked here, the signals between your brain and body start to break down. That's why walking becomes difficult. Or you might suddenly feel like you're going to fall, even when standing still. It's not just clumsiness. It's not just aging. It could be your brain under attack. Sign 4, numbness or weakness. Now let's talk about a classic symptom you might already know, but should never ignore: sudden numbness or weakness. If you wake up and your arm, leg, or face feels suddenly heavy, weak, or numb, especially if it's just on one side, this is a serious warning. It can start as a slight tingling or loss of feeling, then quickly become a complete weakness. You might find it hard to lift your arm, or even hold a cup of water. Why does this happen? When a stroke cuts off blood flow to part of the brain, those brain cells start to die. And since the brain controls movement and sensation, damage in one area causes symptoms on the opposite side of your body. This symptom is so common that it's one of the first things doctors look for when diagnosing a stroke. But here's the problem. Some seniors dismiss it as a pinched nerve, or think it'll pass on its own. That delay, confusion, or trouble speaking. Next up, something that's both frightening and often missed: confusion or trouble speaking. If you or someone you love suddenly struggles to find the right words, or can't understand what others are saying, it could be a serious warning. Speech may become slow, slurred, or unclear. Sentences might not make sense. Even simple instructions can feel confusing. Why? A stroke can damage the parts of the brain responsible for language and comprehension. This isn't just a temporary brain fog. It's a sign that the brain cells controlling communication are in trouble or dying. Many seniors mistake this for dementia or exhaustion. But when speech changes suddenly and unexpectedly, it's time to act fast. Sign number 6, sudden fatigue or nausea. And finally, one more sign that might surprise you: sudden, unexplained fatigue or nausea. If you're over 60 and find yourself completely exhausted for no clear reason, or you feel sick to your stomach without eating anything unusual, don't ignore it. This kind of tiredness or queasiness isn't common in all strokes, but it can happen, especially with strokes that affect the brainstem. The brainstem controls many basic functions, like alertness and balance. When it's affected, you might feel wiped out or nauseous before any other symptom appears. Because these feelings are so general, it's easy to blame them on other causes. But sometimes, fatigue or nausea is your body's quiet way of saying something is very wrong. Conclusion. Let's recap. Watch out for these hidden stroke signs after 60. Sudden severe headache, vision problems, dizziness or loss of balance, numbness or weakness on one side, confusion or trouble speaking, sudden fatigue or nausea. Knowing these signs can make all the difference. Stay informed, stay prepared. And please, don't keep this life-saving information to yourself. Share it with your loved ones today. If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to our channel for more important health tips made just for you.